Kenley working it around here for the Fever. Good ball movement on this possession. Logo shot. Logo make for Clark.
Talk about the art, appreciate and love it, but don't mention the artist even once out of hate. This is the approach many WNBA veterans seem to take. Jealousy and the sense of being overshadowed by a rookie sensation is just not letting them at peace. So guess what? It's only hurting them and their popularity and nothing else. Now, you might wonder what exactly we are talking about.
Sheryl Swoopes. She's a dumb job.
So, it's one of the greatest players of the league, Sheryl Swoopes, who just proved again. She was just a big player and not a big person at all. In fact, she's become a hater and liar who never tries to give an honest opinion. Now, we all know what Indiana was before Caitlin-Clark. The team won only 14 matches in the last season. Fever witnessed the least attendance in the last season, and no one would even talk about this team. But in 2024, Fever has become the talk of the town and the favorite of all basketball fans. Well, every one of us knows it's the Caitlin-Clark effect, but Sheryl Swoopes lives in the parallel universe. Most recently, Clark tied the record for most three-pointers made by a rookie, matching Atlanta Dream's Ryan Howard with 85. Despite the gravity of this achievement, Swoopes remained silent on air during a 50-second window when her co-commentator Ron Thulin highlighted Clark's accomplishment, opting instead to discuss the game when play resumed. The Caitlin-Clark and Sheryl Swoopes saga has been one of the more unexpected storylines in the WNBA this season. Sheryl Swoopes has found herself in hot water over her comments about the Indiana Fever's rising star, Caitlin-Clark. The tension between them actually started before Clark even entered the WNBA. Swoopes sparked controversy when she mistakenly claimed that Clark had broken the NCAA scoring record by playing more years than Kelsey Plum did. This error didn't sit well with fans or analysts, and it added an extra layer of drama as Clark makes her mark in the pros. On a recent episode of the Queens of the Court podcast, Sheryl Swoopes made it clear where her loyalties lie when discussing the Indiana Fever's season. Instead of focusing on Caitlin-Clark's standout performances, Swoopes chose to highlight the efforts and improvements of three other Fever players, Lexie Hull, Aaliyah Boston, and Kelsey Mitchell. I was giving credit to Lexie Hull, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, because seriously, they played exceptional basketball, Swoopes remarked, pointedly leaving Clark out of the conversation. Swoopes doubled down on her praise for Hull, Mitchell, and Boston, especially noting their strong play following their return from the Paris Olympics. By focusing on these players and omitting Clark from the praise, Swoopes is clearly aligning herself with the rest of the team, emphasizing their contributions to the Fever's success this season. The hate for Clark didn't go unnoticed by ESPN analyst Stephen A. Smith, who criticized Swoopes for not giving Clark the credit she deserves. No matter how great you were as a player, Sheryl Swoopes, there is no woman who should negate mentioning Caitlin-Clark and what she is doing for the game, Smith remarked on his YouTube channel. It isn't hard to say Sheryl Swoopes intentionally left Caitlin-Clark out of her analysis, and she said what based on her favoritism and personal connection. Either way, her silence on the matter isn't doing much to quiet the fans who feel that Swoopes has deliberately snubbed Clark. When confronted about it, Swoopes didn't exactly back down. In response to a viral clip from Stephen A. Smith, she fired back with a pointed comment. "You talk about whomever and whatever you want to on your podcast, correct? So why can't I? Also, did you listen to the entire episode? Nope. I have a personal relationship with these players and they deserve recognition as well." One thing is clear, Swoopes lacks the ability to analyze basketball impartially. She consistently uses race and personal biases to rank players instead of focusing on merit or performance. It's disappointing to see a veteran like her tarnishing the league's atmosphere with such short-sightedness. Honestly, no one really cares what she says anymore. Everyone knows her opinions are just biased nods to her personal connections. Now let's come to the real point. They are all jealous of Clark, who has single-handedly managed to make Fever a dominating team. Just take the example of the recent game. Caitlin-Clark and the Indiana Fever took control against Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky, winning 100-81 in Chicago. Although many tried to build up a rivalry between these potential WNBA Rookie of the Year contenders, the matchup between the two didn't come with much extra drama. Before Friday's game, Clark was asked about the Rookie of the Year race and mentioned that she, and likely Reese, don't wake up thinking about individual awards. She may not keep her head around it, but Friday's performance made it clear that Clark has likely earned that title. She dominated the first half with her trademark passing and shooting efficiency, In the first quarter, Clark dished a perfect pass to Nalissa Smith for an easy bucket. Then, in the second quarter, she drilled an impressive three-pointer from way beyond the arc to tie the score at 26. Clark's stellar second quarter took the Fever to a 47-42 halftime lead, with the 22-year-old racking up 15 points, 7 assists, and 3 rebounds by the break. She hit back-to-back threes in the second quarter, giving the Fever a lead they'd never relinquish. That 4-point halftime lead ballooned to 14 by the end of the third quarter. And the Fever didn't let up in the fourth, stretching their advantage to 90-71 with just over 5 minutes remaining. Clark was nothing short of spectacular, finishing with 31 points on 8-14 shooting, including 5-9 from 3 and a near-perfect 10-11 from the free throw line. She also added 4 rebounds and 12 assists. On the other hand, Reese struggled with one of her weakest performances of the season. Although she managed another double-double, most of her stats came during garbage time. Reese pulled down 11 rebounds and scored 10 points with 2 assists. Her shooting woes continued, going just 4 for 9 from the field, contributing to a -7 rating. Despite some questionable late fouls from the Sky as their frustration mounted, Clark remained composed. The Fever improved to 16-16 with the win, while the Sky fell to 11-20. Clark and the Fever will face the Dallas Wings on Sunday as she aims to lead her team to another victory, all while staying focused on the bigger picture rather than individual awards. The WNBA's historic season continues to shatter records in ratings, sales, social media engagement, and viewership, with Caitlinclark at the heart of this surge. Before the recent victory, Clark had played in 14 of the 16 games that surpassed 1 million viewers, surpassing the lofty expectations set for her. As the #1 overall pick in the most-watched WNBA draft, Clark has quickly left her mark. In just 31 professional games, she's already set multiple records, including becoming the first rookie to notch a triple-double, the fastest player to reach 500-plus points and 200-plus assists in a season, and setting the single-game record for most assists with 19. The Indiana Fever secured another tight and crucial victory, winning 84-80 against the second-best team, the Connecticut Sun, further proving the exceptional form of both the team and Caitlinclark. During the game, Clark broke the WNBA rookie record for three-pointers made in a season with 86, surpassing Ryan Howard's record set in 2022, with 9 games still left to play. This is just another accolade for Clark, who is the clear favorite for Rookie of the Year and is among the top 3 contenders for the MVP award in betting circles. Since returning from the Olympic break, the Indiana Fever has become probably an unplayable team, winning 4 of their last 5 games and securing the 7th spot, just 1 game behind the Phoenix Mercury. Clark's game is defined by her three-point shooting and assists. She currently has 88 three-pointers and averages 2.8 per game. If she continues at this pace and hits 3 threes in each of the remaining 9 games, she'll finish with 115, placing her just behind Sabrina Ionescu's record of 128 set last year, but still in the top 5 for a WNBA season. With 267 three-point attempts so far and averaging 8.6 per game, Clark could also finish the season with the most three-point attempts in a single season in WNBA history. Let us know in the comments below what you think about the most fierce and game-changing performances of Caitlinclark. Also, don't forget to subscribe for the latest updates on the exceptional performances of Clark and analysis of her haters' tactics. See you in the next video.